Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And I don't know why, because of this mehendi my hands have become really dry and I just keep reapplying hand lotion again and again and again, but still it keeps getting my hand dry. And you can see that the sunlight is actually hitting only on a part of my face. Before a while I was actually shooting like a reel or something and there was no sunlight, and now all of a sudden there's so much sunlight and the shoot is over and I'm like, थोड़ी देर पहले आते या अभी आते तो I would have done the shoot in the sunlight, but it's all right. Wow, I know it's giving me Ariel kind of vibe with the fact that the sunlight only hitting on my one eye on this side, and this side it's completely in the dark. And so let's see what does the spirits have in mind for you today. I'll be using this deck as usual, and I'm getting the message that you have left behind a lot of things that were not for you, that was not meant for you, all the people that were not meant for you. I literally look like an angel in this video, with the sunlight only hitting a part of me, and on the part of my face where the sunlight is hitting, it's definitely looking ethereal. Somehow that is significant. Use that message for your discernment. This is one of the weirdest videos that I've ever shot. Like, if I go back, no sunlight at all. If I come here, there's sunlight. So as I was saying, there's definitely a very nostalgic feeling with the Six of Cups here. There's a very nostalgic feeling. I'm trying to see, should I put I can't even see my face right now because of the sunlight hitting direct my eye. I'm thinking, should I just put the window, should I close the window, or what should I do, or should I just let it be? I'm gonna let it be. I hope you guys are enjoying this view of sunlight on half of my face. So there's definitely a lot of nostalgic vibes. Maybe, see, this is like the continuation of the last video that I did. I feel like I couldn't completely finish the information that I was giving in the last video, but then again I just all of a sudden lost the interest to make the video, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna continue with the message. I feel like that is it, and I end the video. And now I'm realizing that I'm wearing the same accessories except for my earrings, with the same energy that I left behind with the message in yesterday's message. So there's definitely a lot of reminiscing, there's a lot of nostalgic feeling, maybe confirmation. Maybe you are thinking about all those sweet times that you spent with all the people that you left behind, and you sort of feel sad or sorry to be moving on to the next stage of your life, and maybe it is them. You are someone you like having a happy ending, okay? With the 10 of Cups here, like, you want a family, you want a successful career, you want to have healthy friendships, pour into people that pour back into you. And this is the reason that you just know when you meet people, like, you just met people and you just know if they're gonna fit into your life, if they're perfect for you, if they're gonna understand you. Oh my god, these are a lot of cards. I'm gonna put these back because these are a lot of cards, but these are the same cards that fell yesterday in the tarot reading that I couldn't finish because I continued with the channel messages. At first, as I was saying, you're a person, like, you just know, okay, when you meet a person, like, if they're gonna fit into your life or not. But you can just see that those people are very excited to be with you. Like, those people, they really love your energy, they love your vibe, they want to be with you, they want to be your friends, or they want to date you. Take this message for your discernment. It doesn't always have to be friendship, it could even be dating, or it could even be anything. Colleagues, co-workers, hang out regularly, even in opportunities of work and co-workers, but they were just not right for you, and it's just not a match. That's the reason you decided to let them go and be in the past. But then these people, they're sort of looking behind like what things could have been with you, all those people in those friendships. Oh, like they could have made more memories with you, they could have, like blah blah blah, like you get the scene of what I'm saying. And with the 10 of cups here, you definitely don't like setting for less. You do not like setting for less than what you want, and that creates a very awkward sense. Like you're with people, you know that they're not right for you, and you are ready and you have left them behind, because it's just not a match. They're not meant to be in your life. And but then it's them, they make you feel like, oh, like we're actually right for you, why are you leaving us behind? Like this is not something verbal, this is not something that they say verbally, this is something that you feel energetically. Like, when I'll use this video as an example. When I first started this video, I was very skeptic because the sunlight was hitting directly on just half of my face, and that looked very weird. And 555 on that timer, are you kidding me right now? I was very, very skeptic. I was like, what should I do? Should I stop the video and go close the window, or what should I do? Now that I say, the sunlight goes down. So, but then that I decided not to go and stop the video, and I just continued. You could sense that the video quality was actually good because of the sunlight hitting my face. Now that the sunlight is gone, obviously now it's not that as bright as it used to be, but I'm pretty sure when the sun comes up again, the quality will go back to as how it was. See, this is how it's gonna be. Like right now in this video there is no sunlight, so this is just a normal video. Now when the sunlight comes again, now this video will have a different kind of shine, it'll have a different kind of glow. Now this is exactly what I mean. Now does this mean that I have to now go bring a different lighting, set up the lighting, go close my window? Now that is just too much work, and plus that is not even what this video is about. That will be just me overthinking like, oh, am I doing what is right, what should I do, should I do this or should I not do this? Instead of focusing that I should be doing this video, I will be focusing on other things. Now that is exactly what is or could be happening in your life. That is what exactly is happening in your life, because you knew that those people were not meant to be in your life. Okay, you knew that they were not meant for you, yet just because you left them behind, and right now maybe you are not dating anybody currently, maybe you don't have as much as friends you used to have in the past. Now just because of that doesn't mean that you will go back to all those people that you left behind in the past. You have to trust the process. It doesn't have to be all glowy, it doesn't have to be all dreamy right now, but that also doesn't mean that you're not in the right path. Like maybe right now I could stop this video, wait until the sunlight comes up again, but I know that it doesn't really matter, because I'm gonna still continue giving you the message that I'm meant to give, despite of the sunlight being there or not, because that is what is important. At the same time, in your life as well, just because you don't have any opportunities right now, that doesn't mean that you will go back into all those people, into all those places and situations that actually was not meant for you. Because it was never meant for you. And if it was meant for you, you wouldn't have left those people, you wouldn't have left those places in the first place if they were actually meant for you. Okay, if they were actually meant for you, you wouldn't have left them behind. So if you left them behind, then that's definitely for a reason. And with the Tower card here, I feel like you could have recently had a very Tower moment where you realized if something is meant for you, if something is not meant for you, and you could have put all the puzzle pieces together, and you could have been like, okay, like I see the clear picture now, I see the bigger picture now. Or even if you don't see it now, maybe in a while you will be able to see it. In future you'll be able to see it, because you can always connect the dot backwards. You can't connect the dot forward and be like, oh no, whatever has happened in the past, once after a few months or few years, then you will look back and then you will be able to connect and be like, oh right, yeah, like what I did was actually correct. I'm glad that I left those people behind, or I'm glad that I didn't take that opportunity because it was actually not meant for you. Like just because the opportunity is for you doesn't mean that it's actually right for you. So just because it is there doesn't mean that it's for you. And with the 9 of Wands, you're definitely planning a lot of things in your life. you're manifesting a lot of things. I don't know why in my channel, more than love readings, I get on a person like self-development, self-love, or those kind of messages, because I feel like that is more important. Like when you yourself as a person is able to love yourself completely, that is when you will truly attract love. And you have realized this, you have now completely focusing on yourself, and you have realized ki okay, now this is where I'm meant to be, this is my path, and this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna continue doing this regardless of what other people say, because it feels right to me. It doesn't have to feel right to others, because it feels right to me. And you definitely know what you're doing. Like other people don't have to know what you're doing. If it makes sense, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. As long as it makes sense to you, as long as you know what you're doing, I feel like that is more than enough. There are a lot of cycles that you have put into. There are a lot of karmic cycles, karmic people that you have left behind, and there are also a lot of things that you are working on, and you could be at the end of that journey, but at the same time it's not completely over yet, and your higher self is still planning out how to get you out of those certain situations or certain people that might be somewhere in your life which are not meant to be. Damn, look what pulled up. The Lover's card. One thing is for sure, my reading never completely goes complete without the Lover's card or without a love message. Okay? And with the Lover's card, you definitely have a person who's very interested in you, who finds you very attractive, and this is going to be the kind of relationship where you guys equally pour into each other. Like they pour into you and you pour into them. It's going to be equal give and take. It's not like oh, only this person is going to pour into me, or only that person is going to pour into me, or it's going to be toxic. Nothing like that. It's going to be a relationship, or you're going to find a person who's going to equally pour into you, who's going to be sort of a perfect puzzle piece to your puzzle called as life, where they'll completely understand why you are the way you are. See, one thing that I've recently realized is people tend to put people on pedestal. Now imagine that you are a person who is very attractive or who has certain lifestyle. So when people come across a person like you, or a person who's very attractive, a person who's very, very very beautiful, they're physically very beautiful, or they have a lot of money, they have a lot of land, and they run businesses, they always assume that everything is perfect for them and that there is nothing wrong in their life. Like imagine a person who's extremely beautiful, like she's so beautiful or he's so beautiful, that they believe that oh, there is nothing going on, like there could never be no wrong in their life, like everything is gonna be perfect, they always have it easy just because they're beautiful, or just because they have money, they're rich, they always get what they want. Like people always like to put other people who, at least on the outside to those people, look like they have it all. In reality, they actually don't know what is going on in these people's life. And this came out of nowhere, but you really needed to hear this. That is, don't ever let such people into your life. Okay, like I genuinely mean this, because if those people are like, oh, I always thought you were this kind of person, like genuinely thinking okay, like oh, this person has a certain characteristics because they look a certain way, they dress a certain way, but then once they actually meet that person, they realize that they are actually not exactly what they thought that they are, because of how they dress, because of how they show up, or because of how they speak. And I feel like those people could actually be not healthy for you, because until and unless you truly actually meet that person, understand their story, you should never come to any conclusions of how they're going to be, how their personality is going to be. Obviously, we as humans, we are going to be very curious. We are very, very, very curious. Like we just see a person and we judge a book by its cover. Like sometimes that is our human tendency. We'll be like, oh, this person talks this way, this person dresses this way, they'll have this kind of lifestyle. But you never truly know what is happening in their life, what kind of lifestyle they have, what kind of people that they're surrounded with, unless you actually go and talk to them and understand their story. That is when you'll understand why they are the way they are, why they think the way they think. And you're definitely a very intuitive person. I'm getting a High Priestess card here. You're definitely very, very intuitive, and continue listening to your intuition. Continue listening to your intuition. You're definitely on a journey of self mastery. You're perfecting yourself, all your skills, everything that you believe is meant for you. You're definitely perfecting that. Continue doing that. Stop worrying about if this person is going to show up in your life, when they're going to show up, and if you have to do anything. If you're a feminine watching this, you don't have to do anything. The masculine will come to you. And if you are a divine masculine watching this, then I guess this is your sign that you have to start taking some actions, or start putting a date to confess to that person, if that is what you want. And you're definitely a very intuitive person. You're very, very, very intuitive. That now this goes both ways, to divine masculine and to all the divine feminines. You're very intuitive. You're so intuitive that you sort of know what is going on in a room, or all the people around you. With all the people that are around you, you don't even have to tell them, or you don't even have to ask them. See, that is one thing. Obviously, we humans, we confirmation verb, wow, even before I say it, we always look at the actions, not the words. Sort of believe the action but not the words. But I believe that we should sort of believe the energy, not just actions, not just words. Because there will be certain relationships, like you could even see on social media, like couples who have online YouTube videos, like family vlogging, like basically married couples, or even friends who do vlogging on YouTube or Instagram, and they show to their partners how much they care, and they film that and they post it on YouTube videos. Now, seeing that, you'll feel like, oh my god, he's buying her so many flowers, he's buying her so many gifts, he loves her so much. But maybe he's just doing it for the views. Maybe he's just doing it to make himself feel good, that yeah, I'm such a good boyfriend. Like, is he actually doing that because he actually loves his girlfriend and he wants to be with his girlfriend? Is he actually doing that because he loves his wife? Now, this again goes both ways. If a woman is taking care of a man, is she taking care of her man because she genuinely loves him, or is it because she's doing it for herself, to prove to her like, oh, I'm such a good wife, see, I'm taking care of my man? Like, this goes both ways. This is not just restricted to man and women, it goes to both ways in a relationship. That is why energies are very important. Trust the energies. Energy never lies. It is again all in the energy. Now, you could be with a friend who says all the sweet words to you, who does the right thing, but their energy always just seems off. Then that is the biggest sign that the relationship or your friendship is not exactly what it seems to be, because of the energy. Because energy never really lies. Like, you can buy flowers to your friend and you can tell them the right words, but that doesn't mean that they're actually your friends. Like, even in your relationship, your boyfriend could give you the dream proposal that you always dreamed of, give you all the right things, said all the right words, taken you to the most amazing destination in the whole world, yet there's something off with his energy. You just feel like he's not happy, or he's just doing it with a motive behind his back or something like that. So energy never lies. 18:31 on the timer. So instead of focusing on actions are important, because that shows that if we actually care or not in the 3D world. But more importantly, energy, or the vibe that you feel, or what a person makes you feel, is more important. So pay attention to that, mainly in your friendships, in your relationships. Okay, that is the two things. And then the next thing that I was saying is, sometimes when you're with people, it is actually their energy that you feel. And as I was saying in the last video, this video is definitely the continuation of the previous video that I made. All the energies that you feel when you're with other people is not actually your energy. Like as I said, you could meet a person and you didn't even talk to them in 5-6 years, and why would you want to tell the person that you met after 5 years what is going on in your life? Because if they were your close friend, then you would definitely be in contact with them at least once in a month or something like that. And if you just met them after a really long time, that excitement that you feel, that you just want to tell them everything that's going on in your life, all the success that you have had in your life. But what happens when you actually tell them your plans? They indirectly sabotage it by sending you negative energy, because if nothing is going on in their life, then they will keep thinking about what is going on in your life and all the good things that is going on in your life, and they might send negative or bad energy into your life. So that excitement that you feel when you meet a person, that I want to tell them that, oh, like this is going on in my life, I have a boyfriend, he takes care of me so much, see, he put a ring on me, or blah blah blah. Then if that person is not able to find anybody to date in their life and they are going through relationship problems, then they unknowingly, this is not something that happens intentionally, this is even something that happens unknowingly, because they want that relationship or that kind of partner so bad that when they see you and your partner, they might feel like, oh, even I want that. But unknowingly they might send, unintentionally they might send negative energy your way, which might make things bad for you. So it is very important to keep your energy, keep your relationships and everything that is happening in your life very private, because so that all those people don't send any negative energy or bad energy into your life or along your way. Sometimes people do it intentionally because they genuinely don't want to see you happy because of all the things that they have been through. That is all up to them, don't worry about them. But it's for your safety, better to keep all those things that are actually meant for you private and secure. And remember that excitement that you feel when you meet a person, it's actually not yours, it is their excitement that you are feeling, because you are this high priestess. Of course this card has to show up, because you are that intuitive that you feel their excitement and you just feel like telling them everything. But then after a while you realize that, why did I tell all of them? Like, I'm not even that close with them, why did I tell them? Then that is actually their energy that you feel, that excitement. So just, how do you know what is actually your feeling? That is when you come back to home, to your home, to yourself, at your home at night, or when you get some time for yourself, truly think back about all those events, all those people that you met in yesterday or today, and just feel, if you were to meet with them again, if that person were to come across right now, how much information about yourself. So yeah, I'm back, and with a different lighting because the light just keeps going on and off, but okay, let that be. So as I was saying, like, if you were to meet that person again, how would you feel? What would you feel? How much information about yourself would you have given back to them? Okay, and would you have reacted the same way that you reacted, or would you have reacted a little differently? Would you have given all this information that you gave them the first time, or would you have kept some information back because you don't actually want to tell them what is going on in your life? What exactly would you have done? And the other thing is, it doesn't always have to be perfect. Okay, like, you don't need to have the most perfect conversation or the most perfect life or the most perfect experience. Like now, for example, wow, the sunlight's back again. I swear to God, this video, okay, it's just giving a little different vibe. See, now if I come here, it's a little different sunlight. See, this is exactly what I mean. Like, 1 second I look different, 1 second the lighting goes and the video looks completely dull, and the next second the lighting is back and then this looks like a completely new setting. Now, this is exactly what happens in your life. Like, things don't always have to go the way you wanted it to go. Like, right now you can only see my lips at this point, my teeth, and how white my teeth are. Like, you can't even see my eye. Like, I have to come very close to like give you the information. But this is exactly what I mean, that your life doesn't always have to be how you predicted it to be. Now, this whole experience of me making this video has been really fun, because at first that sunlight hitting on my face, that was like bright yellow, and then after a while there was no sunlight at all, and now all of a sudden it just feels like a very aesthetic place and there's a lot of sunlight here. This is exactly what I mean. Like, isn't this actually interesting as you audience viewing this video 2:11 on the timer as I restarted the video? That you're getting a different, like, it's one video but different aesthetics. In one, for a few seconds or few minutes, the video gets dull. I start looking dull because there is no light here, and then all of a sudden there's light and I look different. So that sort of gets you excited, like, oh, this is nice. Oh, this is that. This is this. That is exactly how life is meant to be. If everything went the way we predicted it to be, then life would be genuinely boring. I understand that you feel comfortable because you predicted that everything would go this way, and then you'll be like, yeah, I knew this would happen, so it happened. So you sort of feel calm because you know that it happened. But at the same time, if you already knew everything that's happening, then life would be very boring. Come on, be honest. And when life is unpredictable, that is when it gets interesting because you never expected that to happen. Like, I never expected all these things to happen in the video, and it's making me feel like, oh my god, like, wow. And that is exactly what I mean. Like, in your life, even if you let all those people behind, that's all right. They don't have to come back into your life. It genuinely doesn't matter. And if you left those people in your past, then you definitely let them for a reason and let them stay in the past. You know, I heard this quote, like, just because you don't have water to drink right now doesn't mean that you will drink all that toxic shit, all this toxic poison that you left behind which you don't want to drink. You know, it's like drinking sewage water because you have no water to drink. Who's gonna do that? Nobody. Like, a person just rather be thirsty than not drink a sewage water if you don't have water to drink. This is exactly like that. Just because you're not in a relationship right now, you don't have a partner who understands you, and you've been single for a really long time. Maybe, who knows, you've been single for like 10 years or something and you haven't found anybody. Or maybe you've been single for just few months. Isn't that better to be single and not to be in a toxic relationship? At least you're not in a toxic relationship. Be happy. At least you have mental peace. At least you have time for yourself. You know, at least you have the time and energy and the money to explore, to go to new places. Because if you were in a toxic relationship, all your energy, all your money, all your time would be going onto a person who's not worth it. And even in friendships, isn't it better to have at least one or two close friends, even your siblings, or even have a dog and have nobody else? That doesn't mean that you're not gonna make any friends in future. It's just that right now you just didn't meet all those people who actually are not meant to be with you or who can't understand you, and that is completely all right. You know, that is completely all right, and there's nothing wrong or nothing to be ashamed of when you tell people, like, oh, I'm still single, I'm looking for a person. They'll be like, oh my god, it's been so many years and you're still looking for a person. Like, yeah, be like, obviously you're gonna be so angry, be like, oh fuck. You will just start cussing them or something. But then don't let them, or don't give them power to make you feel like, oh my god, like, it is about time that I should find somebody, or I should have group of friends, or I should be doing what normal people do on a Saturday night. I don't know, go to clubbing and just party or all of that shit, or go on a vacation. Maybe you just want to have a quiet night and just be with yourself. Maybe not even with your friends. Maybe you just want to be by yourself. And there's nothing wrong in a person being by themselves, because I feel like not many people understand that it is truly a privilege to actually be by themselves and not get bored of themselves. Like, imagine a person who is not able to be by themselves and they are bored. I don't know, if a person can't be by themselves, I already start judging them. You know, like, if they have to be around people 24/7, I have already started judging them since that came out of their mouth. And with the strength card here, you're definitely a person who's very, very resilient. Like, you're a kind of person, when something happens in your life, you just come out of it. See, even right now, I've been flipping cards. Maybe a few cards fell out, but I just didn't feel them. I put them back and I'm still flipping. But that doesn't mean that, oh, I'm doing a tarot reading, every card has just fall right now. Sometimes things does take time. You know, that doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. And you're definitely with this Queen of Cups energy, as I was already saying. You're a very strong person, you're a very resilient person, but at the same time, you had to go through a lot of things to be resilient. You know, strength just doesn't come in just one day. And even if you are a person who's really good at talking in front of people, you're a very good spokesperson, that did not happen overnight. There were so many years maybe you practiced even unknowingly, because you were interested in it. And this is what people don't understand. Some people just say, oh, you just have it easy, you just get everything that you want in your life easily, but little do they know that the hard work that the person has put into all of that, into getting all of that talent or resilient and everything. Even when I see YouTube videos or Instagram reels, especially the Instagram reels of a very beautiful person, she just does nothing, she just stands in front of a camera, gives a cute smile, and that video goes like viral, like maybe 26 million or something. And people go and comment in the videos and they're like, oh my gosh, she's earning money just by making this. And then I don't know, like, why are people just so angry at people who have it easy? Like, just because they have it easy now doesn't mean that they have always had it easy. Even being beautiful is not easy. You have to maintain your skin. Maybe if they are blessed by it, you can understand it there. If God blessed them with beauty, then they definitely deserve that beauty. They must have done something good in their previous life that they deserve that beauty, that they deserve that lifestyle. Even when it comes to Nepo kids or all those kids like who are born in like crazy millionaires family and they don't have to worry about anything and they just get everything that they want in their life. Like, why are people so jealous of all those people that are actually happy? Like, if they're actually happy and if they have an easy life, then they definitely did something in their life, in their past life, or something that they actually deserve to get this easy life, that God gave them that. Like, God is not stupid. God doesn't give something to a person for no reason. Like, if he is giving something to a person, then there's something going on in the background that he knows that, yeah, I need to give this to a person. So just because what we don't see, we should not be too quick to judge what is going on in a person's life. This is that, this is them. Even a small mistake, now a person does a very small mistake and you already start judging them. Oh my god, I never expected that you would do this kind of mistake. Like, and then you just start cussing them for just a very small mistake. Like, it is normal to make mistakes until and unless they didn't mean you any harm. They just genuinely made a mistake. Like, it could be in a relationship, in a friendship, maybe they just said something that they didn't mean and it just happened. Like, it just happened, they did not mean that. So try to understand why people are the way they are instead of just complicating things, but at the same time know your worth and have strict boundaries. And I feel like you could be a person who has a very, very strict boundaries. Now, when I say very strict, like very strict boundaries, that people actually don't know how to be or behave around you. Like, 1 second you're this fun loving girl and then next second you just become this girl who has a poker face or like a bitch face. But you don't try to have that poker face or that bitch face, but you just look like that because you're just not in the mood, you just don't feel like it. And that's just one of your vibe or one of your moods where you're just genuinely not interested in anything and you just want to have time for yourself, and people misunderstand that like you're rude or something, but you're not trying to be rude, you're just being yourself. Like, you're just this way because you're not interested. Does this look like a bitch face? Oh my god, like, it's just so funny. And like, sometimes, like, I don't force to have a bitch face. Like, sometimes I'm genuinely not in the mood or in the vibe and I just sit this way. I'm not sad, I'm not doing anything, I'm just like this because I'm just not in the mood. And some people actually misunderstand that, they're thinking that I'm rude or that I'm like a bitch or something like that. Like, I'm genuinely, I have no energy, I'll be exhausted, or I'm just lost in my own thoughts, in my own world, inside my brain. I'm just like this. But people think that I have a bitch face or a poker face and they think I'm rude. That is very funny to me. At this point, I'm like, okay, think whatever you want to think. I don't care. So, yeah, definitely with the 10 of Wands, you have left behind a lot of people, which I've already said a million number of times in this video. And I feel like that is the highlight of this whole video, that don't go back to those people. If you have left them in the past, then that's definitely for a reason. Like, now, right now, again, there's no light in this video. It's now has a different aesthetic. This is exactly what I mean. Like, now does that mean that I need to stop video, go bring on some lighting, put some lighting at 45-degree angle, 90-degree angle? Like, maybe I could do that, but I don't want to do that. Are you enjoying my vibe? Yeah, I feel like that's good enough. Isn't that right? I feel like that is just too much. Like, even when you're doing something in your life, it is important to put efforts, but at the same time, it should not be too extreme that it's actually unhealthy. Now, in every video, if I'm worried about, oh, how I look, is my hair perfect, is my makeup perfect, or sometimes I do videos without even wearing makeup, because genuinely at that time I don't want to wear makeup, because if I wear, I have to go remove makeup. That's just a lot of task, but I just do it. But if I kept worrying like, no, I have to be pretty all the time, I have to put makeup, then that will be me putting myself in a box that I'm only beautiful when I wear makeup. When I don't wear makeup, I'm not beautiful. Then if I just keep worrying about sunlight, like, oh, I want the sunlight to hit my face because I look pretty when sunlight hits, then now there's no sunlight, then I'll just stop the video and wait for the sunlight to come again. No, then that is not the point of this video. But that doesn't mean that I'm not at the right place. Like, I should be doing this. I'm meant to give you this message, and you were meant to hear this message by me, especially if you're watching till now by this video. Then sometimes in life, it is not always about how beautiful it is, how glorious it looks. Sometimes meaning is more important. Like right now, the fact that I'm able to sit in front of a video and just give the information that I want to give you is more important and more meaningful and more, I would say, special to me than me just looking beautiful in front of a camera. Do I want to look beautiful? Of course. Who doesn't want to look beautiful? Tell me, who doesn't want to be in a good lighting and just speak in front of a camera? This even goes to all the influencers as well. That is, when they are shooting videos, they always get tense and they worry like, oh, my clip is not as aesthetic as other influencers' clips are, so I need to wait for sunlight, I need to wait for this, I need to bring this. Having like, oh, I want my videos to look good is one thing, but overthinking about that constantly and just keep worrying and sending your energy into that only and just keeping all your other tasks pending just to get this one right, it's like keeping unrealistic standards. Like, you should have high standards, yes, in dating, yes, in friendships, so that you have or you're surrounded by healthy people, but at the same time, the standards should not be so unrealistic that you get exhausted by it. It is so unrealistic to always have the most perfect video, to always have the most perfect smile, to always have the most perfect beauty. Like, that is so unrealistic. Then you will not be embracing your natural beauty or your natural or simplicity of life. Like, this goes to all those people who always want to have everything fancy, always fancy. Maybe they like it, but life should be a mixture of fancy, simplicity, sometimes simple, sometimes very fancy, sometimes very simple. It's like a mixture of everything. That is how you know that you have truly lived your life. Now, again, use all this message for your discernment. I'm not judging anybody. It is their option, it is their life. They are free to do whatever they want to do, but at the end of the day, having completely highly unrealistic standards is again very, very exhausting also. But then again, everybody has a different definition of what is high standard and what is not. So again, use your message for your discernment. With the Queen of Cups, I'm getting this again, Strength card, and also 10 of Wands. So you're definitely very strong, you're very resilient, you're very, like, you know what is meant for you and you know what is not meant for you. When something is not meant for you, you will just pack your bag and leave, and that is actually the best option or the best choice. And I guess that is it for today's video. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Just keep doing you, don't overthink. If you feel like you're overthinking, you don't know what to do, ask God for a sign, ask God for a universe. Let's see if there is any one card that wants to come out. The Hanged Man. So all the realizations, or you connecting the dots and realizing why certain incidents or certain people happened in your life and why you did the way you did, all those things, you will be able to connect them in the future and not now. So keep doing you. Do what feels right for you. Listen to your intuition, listen to your higher self, pay attention to your dreams. but at the same time, don't overthink. Everything doesn't have to be perfect, everything doesn't have to be fancy all the time, but at the same time, everything doesn't always have to be simple. You know, you just listen to yourself. Whatever you feel like doing, do at that moment. And you will one day be able to connect the dots of why everything happened the way they happened, and you will be grateful, like, for the things that happened in your life, because you will know that you have reached the position in your life that you were always meant to reach. And you will be grateful for everybody. You'll even be grateful for me, trust me, because when I watch all the star readings and I get the guidance that I need, at that moment I will not be understanding. I'll be like, what is she saying? This doesn't make sense. But then in future, when some such similar incident happens, I'll be like, I remember that one tarot reading or that one channeled message where that one person said this, and I'm like, oh my god, that's actually true. And then I'll be grateful for them that they actually gave me that information, because now I'm able to sort of understand myself better, or understand everything that's happening around me, situations, people, places. That is when I'm truly grateful. So one day I'm pretty sure you will be grateful for me, or any other messengers that you got in YouTube, or any other messages or signs that you received from universe, because it doesn't have to make sense now. It will make sense to you in the future when you have made it. The journey doesn't always make sense, even though it is the most beautiful part in reaching your dream. But when you reach your destination, that is when you'll truly be able to look back, and you will be grateful for everything that happened. And then you will understand why you met certain people in your life, why certain situations happened to you, why certain people treated you the way you treated, or why did you react the way you reacted, because there were some lessons to be learned, some cords to be cut, some people to left behind, some habits to be left by you, which actually made you stronger. You know, like, because when you learn your lessons from certain people, certain places, or certain situations, you decide that you don't want to be this version of yourself, that you want to grow up to be a stronger version of you, who's more resilient, who's more powerful. So always be grateful for all those people who didn't show up in your life, because they, in one way or another way, still taught you something. And also be grateful for the people who showed up in your life, because even they also taught you something or the other, which you never thought that you needed, you know. And you are definitely this with the King of Wands. Look at his confidence, look at him. He has tamed his ego, he has tamed everything, and just live your best life. Don't worry about other people. And if you have any questions, any queries, just ask universe, ask them for a sign, and you will know what to do next. And with that, I will see you guys in my next message, and comment 555 in the comment section, so I know that you watched the whole video. And till then, take care.